That means saying, currently, Zhang Zhenyu is not at Manhwa. He stepped back and said, wait until I finish my work, I will definitely come to you guys. Qin Qin asked, where are you going? Tian Chen replied, Aru's mountain gang. Before that brat Zhang Zhenyu comes back, I must help him clean up the messy situation. You guys better not interfere here, because when the time comes, there will definitely be a fight. A keychain appeared over there. Teacher Luo said, you know this hamster? At that moment, a noise came from over there, and Teacher Luo immediately went to eavesdrop. They're fighting over there. Someone really did break out of the prison. When the three of them went to the window to check, he sighed and said, in the martial world, one cannot always act on their own will, and sighed again. This left Qin Qin, Teacher Luo, and Li Wui confused. A minute ago, the three Baldi brothers from Chang were preparing to execute the fake Zhua Tian Chen. This person killed the second young master of the Zhao family, and injured our brothers. His crimes are heinous, punishment is well deserved, and there is no forgiveness. Anyone who dares to offend the Zhao family at the borders of Longhua is seeking death. The people below were annoyed. This bald guy, Chang, just joined the Zhao family and is already sucking up, wanting to be a dog so quickly? Someone next to them spoke up, aren't the three brothers like that too? Baldy Chang raised his sword, you little brat should be on your way, go die. Just as Baldy Chang swung his sword down, there was a sound of something blocking it. He was surprised to see someone using a baseball bat to stop his sword. He turned and cursed at them, who do you think you are? The person standing in front of Baldy Chang wasn't afraid at all. He looked at the person who was tied up and muttered, isn't this Brother Chen? How did he end up like this? Baldy Chang stood in a daze for about 2 minutes. Then, he raised his sword again, furious, daring to snatch someone from our hands, you're looking to die. The blonde-haired man swung the baseball bat towards Baldy Chang, shouting, get lost. Baldy Chang shouted loudly, how dare you speak to me like that? But Baldy Chang was no match for the young man in yellow. He was immediately struck in the face, stumbling back a few steps, looking extremely disheveled. Over there, someone approached and started shooting. The blonde-haired man immediately sensed the murderous intent coming from behind. As the gunshots rang out, he swiftly dodged with grace, still holding the baseball bat in his hand from beginning to end. He jumped back a few steps, and the gunman, caught off guard, failed to land a single shot. Baldy Chang raised his hand, everyone, stop. Don't waste any more bullets. This guy isn't evolved. Baldy Chang, with one hand pressing on his wound, used the other to inform his subordinates. The crowd below murmured, evolved. He's an evolved. It was as if this term was something extremely terrifying. Immediately, the ordinary people scattered, shouting, run, run, what are you standing around for? There's a fight, don't just watch. Something seemed to fall over there, and Zhua Tianchen, the imposter, trembled like a dried-up chicken. He knew he had encountered a life-threatening situation, but he wasn't sure if it had passed or not, feeling an immense fear in his heart. At that moment, Baldy Chang's earpiece crackled with a message, Baldy Chang, this is me. Stop immediately. Don't kill Zhua Tianchen. Bring him back here to me. Baldy Chang tried, young master, the situation has changed now, someone has taken the person. The young master, feeling annoyed, replied, what? Who dares to do such a thing? Keep an eye on things for me, Bruce and Abu will be here soon. Seizing the opportunity as Baldy Chang heard the announcement, the blond man rushed over and beat up several of his underlings. Baldy Chang happily responded, young master, don't worry, I will definitely keep a close watch. At that moment, one of his underlings came over to report, boss, we can't find Zhua Tianchen anywhere. Baldy Chang was now startled and realized, his mouth hanging open, what? Meanwhile, the blond man had already finished beating up all of Baldy Chang's underlings and casually picked up Zhua Tianchen. He then pulled the pin from a grenade, smiling, goodbye. He threw the grenade toward the three brothers, damn it. It was a smoke grenade, and everything soon became engulfed in smoke. Over there, someone immediately came to the rescue. The blonde man regrouped with a blonde woman. He asked, "Did you find Shangbiao?" She replied, "Not yet." At that time, Shangbiao was sniffing, and then he ran into a narrow alley. I called out, "Hey, Tianchen is over there." She recounted, "Earlier, we sent it to find Tianchen, to attract their attention, but it ended up running away." The blonde-haired man told her, "I told you from the beginning that we can't rely on Shangbiao." You didn't believe it. The girl was annoyed. "Stop talking nonsense. First, get Tianchen to a safe place." The masked person seemed to want to say something. "Hey, hey, hey." The blonde-haired boy asked, "Right, Tianchen? How did you let them catch you?" "That's impossible." The girl following them spoke, her voice tinged with anger. "They must have used some trick. Maybe they poisoned Tianchen. Otherwise, how could he be controlled by them?" The person in the bag continued to shout, "Hey, hey, hey." She said, "Don't rush, we'll untie you when we get to a safe place." The person kept struggling, "Hey, hey." She paused and said, "Be careful, there are people ahead." Bruce and Abu had arrived to block their way. The blonde-haired man and the girl stepped back and turned to run, but there were also people blocking them from behind. The blonde-haired person still held the fake Zhua Tianchen in his hand and said, "These 5 people all have patterns, they are not easy to deal with. If I had known earlier, I would have ambushed them. These guys must die." The girl replied, 2 against 5, how can that work? Talking about this now is useless, we still need to figure out what to do. The person inside the bag became more and more terrified. The girl comforted the fake Zhua Tianchen, "Don't worry, we will definitely rescue you." The person continued to whimper, Teacher Luo asked him, 2 against 5, do you think there's a chance of winning? He said, "Of course, we're definitely going to lose." She asked, "Then when should we act?" He said, "Don't rush, the situation here is much more complicated than I expected." After Tianchen spoke, Teacher Luo indeed didn't understand. Earlier, all the evolved people around were chasing us, and they have ambushed at the exits along the road. If these people join forces, even if the 2 of us act together, there won't be a good outcome. Teacher Luo was worried. Then what should we do? He said, "Does Longhua City have something like this?" Normally not in the open, but with some reputation and a strange working style. Xin was also surprised when he asked. Li Wui considered, "What you just said actually makes sense. Around Longhua City, there is a group of key figures, and they usually wear black scarves tightly wrapped around their heads. They race cars outside and have nothing to do with the expanded area." He immediately asked, "What is this group called? What's their strength?" Li Wui replied, "Black Bandana Society, they have 3 evolved members, considered to be a top-tier force." Xin used binoculars to observe and said, "I found members of the Black Bandana Society, they're ambushing in the alley to the north." Tianchen took out a cigarette, looking pleased, "Very good, then let's choose them." Both Xin and Li Wui were confused. On this side, the 2 were busy untying Tianchen's fake bonds. He said, "Tianchen, move over here. The next fight won't be easy. Stand on the side and don't let yourself be affected." The girl said to the one removing the hood, "Don't worry, Tianchen, even if we die, we'll rescue you." The young man nodded, But the person did not take off the hood, instead, he cried. This confused and frightened the 2 girls and the blonde boy, Tianchen. Gao Fei asked, "Tianchen, what's wrong with you?" The person raised their hand to wipe away a tear. "This is truly moving. I, Zhua Tianchen, met the 2 of you by chance, and both of you risked your lives to help. This kindness, I, Zhua Tianchen, don't know how to repay." After hearing this, both of them were confused. The blonde-haired person muttered, What did you just say?" The person covered their face, then raised a hand in front of them, signaling for silence. "Don't say anything, I cannot drag both of you into this." Then the person threw the face covering to the ground. "Hounds of the Zhao family, listen here. You all want my life, don't you? Spare them, I will bear the consequences alone." The wrongly accused person decided to impersonate Tian Chen in order to save two strangers. The girl and the blonde boy were both startled, their eyes wide in disbelief. What the heck? Who is this guy? The girl was furious. You're not Zhou Tian Chen. Damn it, who the hell are you? The person responded, confused, I am Zhou Tian Chen. Didn't you come to save me? The girl, filled with anger, replied, bullshit, are we close or something? Why would we want to save you? The blonde-haired boy, still skeptical, asked, say it again, what's your name? The person replied, my name is Zhou Tian Chen. Both of them shouted loudly, Zhou Tian Chen. Bruce walked over and teased them, the first part is a nasal sound, and the second part is also a nasal sound. How stupid, you can't even differentiate them clearly. The blonde girl grabbed Zhou Tian Chen and shouted, see? The Mandarin of a foreigner is even better than yours. The girl laughed, haha, it's a misunderstanding. Ha ha. The blonde boy quickly tried to smooth things over, yes, it's a misunderstanding. We mistook the person. This one is for you to handle. Bruce seemed to not believe his ears. The two of them immediately ran away. Well then, see you next time. Abu stepped forward to block them. Wait. From what you said, it seems we've caught the wrong person. If that's the case, taking this fake item seems useless. The girl unsheathed her sword, clearly not backing down. What's wrong? You still want to make a move? Abu politely replied, on the contrary, it's not that serious. I just wanted to ask the two of you to show some face and come visit the Zhao family as guests. The young man immediately declined, sorry, we don't know how to show face. We only know how to embarrass others. Abu remained incredibly patient, is that so? But my foreign friend here is very warm and hospitable. If you two don't show him some respect, he'll get angry. Bruce pretended, come, baby. The blonde girl smiled and raised her eyebrows. The two bald Chang men didn't understand what was going on, yet the blonde girl had already killed both of them without mercy, each strike landing in a critical spot. The bald Chang man shouted, second brother, third brother. The blonde-haired boy had already raised his baseball bat and said to the bald Chang man, what are you looking at? He swung once, hitting the bald Chang man's face. The man was struck in the head, turned around, and let out a scream. Then the blonde-haired boy looked back. Bruce clapped his hands and said, not bad, come on. But the two immediately ran away. The girl also said, what are you coming for? Run now. They didn't intend to confront the Zhao family in Longhua City, today was just an unfortunate situation. Bruce and Abu bent down to the ground. Bruce asked, are you all right? One of them rubbed his neck and said, I'm fine, just a minor injury, nothing serious. Bruce ordered, if you're not dead, hurry up and chase after them. Bruce, along with Abu, chased after the two boys and the girl from earlier. The Black Bandana Society was also lurking around. One person asked, what's the situation? The other responded, we've made some discoveries. There's an exit in the southeast, and the Axe Gang is lying in wait there. The people from the Black Bandana Society took a closer look and reported back. In the small house in the southeast, the North Sky Gang and Scorpion Gang are there. It looks like all the forces in the expanded area are involved this time. Someone from the Black Bandana Society seemed a bit worried, the situation is a bit off. They're all on the move. They put away their binoculars and began to move as well. Let's go, we should follow too, we can't let others take the lead. Tian Chen walked over and politely greeted them, you are members of the Black Bandana Society. But it seemed to startle the people from the Black Bandana Society, who immediately attacked him. However, he managed to block both of their strikes effortlessly. The two of them were taken aback and, without thinking, exchanged looks. On the other side, Tian Chen remained completely calm, staring straight at the two members of the Black Bandana Society. The man furrowed his brows, trying to apply more force, but still couldn't move. He cursed, damn, this guy's strength is even greater than First Brother's. I can't break free at all. Another person approached, turned, and struck him. It's not over yet. Zhuo Tianchen tossed aside something, and the two charged at each other, flying into the air. He muttered, two mid-level rank 1 fighters, even a top-tier force is nothing like this. The two fell to the ground with a thud. Zhuo Tianchen looked at them, sneering. One of the Black Bandana Society members stood up. This master, your strength is truly formidable. We really cannot defeat you. But since you know we are from the Black Bandana Society, please show us some respect. The person spoke as if pleading. Tianchen walked over. Hooligans, not enough awareness. Respect is not something others give, it's something we earn with our own abilities. Li Wuyi also stepped forward, and the Black Bandana Society members were terrified. Li Wuyi is involved too. The two members of the Black Bandana Society assessed the situation, glancing at Tianchen, who was lighting a cigarette. I didn't expect that, besides Hu Feng, there would be such a powerful expert. In this confrontation, hasn't the Black Bandana Society already lost all chances? Moreover, this person's strength is terrifying. To subdue me and third brother only takes 2 moves. With such power, even including first brother, the odds of victory are still slim. The two immediately knelt down and begged for mercy. Master, spare us. It is indeed the wisest choice in a situation like this. It is said that Tianchen directly asked, your Black Bandana Society has 3 evolved members, where is the 4th one? The second brother replied, our first brother stays at home to guard, she doesn't usually go out. Tianchen nodded, very good, I have a request for both of you. The two of them nodded repeatedly, yes, 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 please give your instructions. He instructed, go back and tell your first brother, as long as he doesn't interfere with the matter of Zhuo Tianchen, remember, don't interfere means not to speak to anyone about it. If not, I will personally come to your door to seek guidance. The two of them nodded, yes, yes. We remember your words. We will go back, and we will not interfere with the matter of Zhuo Tianchen. Just as they were about to leave, he said, wait, we're not done yet. His eyes showed a lecherous look as he said, take off your clothes. The two members of the Black Bandana Society instinctively embraced each other. People from all directions gathered, and the forces within Longhua City were assembling. Everyone was chasing after the two people, and the situation was incredibly chaotic. Baldy Chang reported to Abu, Brother Abu, why are the Axe Gang's people behind us? Did you invite them to help? Abu shouted, dream on. I still have a grudge with the Axe Gang, how could they possibly help me? The other underling reported, boss. The Nantian Society's small fry are here too. The girl chased after the blonde boy and asked, what the hell is going on? Why are there suddenly so many people here? The boy, carrying a baseball bat, was also somewhat confused by the current situation. How would I know? He turned to her and said, brat, you're fast. It's still not too late to escape. She looked at him and cursed, if you want to leave, then leave together. But the boy basically didn't listen to her. He directly grabbed her arm and said, it's too late, listen to me. Then, he tossed her into the air, feeling a little reluctant inside, go. She flew toward a building in the distance, not forgetting to swear, holy shit. She fell from the sky to the ground, flew several meters, and immediately turned back to look at the boy, shouting, Gao Fei. The boy smiled faintly as if accepting his fate. Gao Fei basically couldn't defeat these people. He raised his hand to surrender, and before anyone could rush at him, he said, I give up. Gao Fei was then taken to the Zhao family's place. Baldy Chang, who had been beaten earlier, now spoke arrogantly to him, hey brat, weren't you tough earlier? Still daring to embarrass me, huh? Try it again. Gao Fei directly spat at Baldy Chang. He went wild with rage. Gritting his teeth, he snarled, you little. I think you're asking for death. Abu stepped forward to stop Baldy Chang, saying, enough, don't embarrass yourself here anymore. The man, seeing someone in formal attire, greeted him with some respect, Brother Abu. Abu then tried to tempt Gao Fei, you're impressive. How about joining our Zhao family? Gao Fei was taken aback upon hearing this. Join your group? Abu replied, that's right. As long as you join, I'll ensure your safety today. Gao Fei was astonished by this extremely arrogant statement. You'll protect me? Then, a red-haired man joined in. Abu, stop talking nonsense. Today, all the evolved people from the expansion area are about to show up. Do you really think this place is still under Zhao family's control? Abu replied, recently, in the extended area, people use their fists to communicate. If you're not convinced, you can come over here and give it a try. Behind him was Bruce, always ready to fight. The red-haired man, hearing Abu's words, was somewhat angered. It's true, your Zhao family is considered the boss in this extended area, and we really can't win in a one-on-one fight, but today, don't even think about taking it all for yourselves. Gao Fei interjected, hey, have you two finished arguing? Who's going to protect me? Let's be clear, I'll follow the one who can. The red-haired man smiled, brother, our Axe Gang has formed an alliance with the Nantian Society and the Scorpion Gang, with a total of 8 evolved. We can absolutely keep you safe. One man retorted angrily, fool, stop embarrassing yourselves. The axe from your Axe Gang is really shameless to mention. The red-haired man snapped, what did you say? After a moment of noise, they started arguing like a marketplace, you should come with us. Our Sanning Society has teamed up with the Longxing Gang, we can definitely protect you, come to us, we have more people, they can't do it. Gao Fei, witnessing the scene of people fighting over the painting, merely snorted and said, humph, a bunch of fools. Abu then approached and said to him, that's right, these people are just idiots with well-developed limbs and empty heads, not worth worrying about. Gao Fei was taken aback. What do you want to do? Abu came closer to him, muttering, kid, I have taken a liking to you. Come with me, I can guarantee you'll be safe today. Gao Fei suddenly transmitted a message with his mind, indicating that this person's abilities were extraordinary, not bad. Abu continued to transmit, this is my special ability to communicate through information. As long as you come with me, I'll make sure you won't be mistreated. Gao Fei smiled and responded, as for me, I've never been shy. As long as there's food, I'll kneel if you ask me to. When I was working before, people always said I was thick-skinned and easily swayed. Abu laughed upon hearing this, that's a good thing. Gao Fei replied, yes, it's a good thing, but I also have one strength, I know how to choose who to follow, I can always pick the right person to follow. Hearing this, Abu remained silent. Gao Fei looked at him and sneered, in my opinion, someone like you still doesn't deserve to be my boss. After hearing that, Abu took a puff of his cigarette and blew the smoke towards Gao Fei. He complimented, who said your bones are soft? They're as hard as this. Gao Fei held his breath, annoyed by the smoke being blown into his face. Meanwhile, in a small alley, the girl continued running. She ran away from the chaos. She felt a bit frustrated, I couldn't find Tian Chen, and now I've lost Gao Fei. This isn't the time to cry, I must come up with a way to save him. While running, she was suddenly stopped by someone blocking her path. It was Li Wuyi. To an ordinary person, he would seem like a madman. He spoke up, oh, little sister, what happened? Tell me. The girl didn't hesitate and drew her sword, get out of the way. Li Wuyi teased, didn't expect it, little sister, you're still quite fierce. She shouted, if you don't move, don't blame me for being rude. Someone approached from the side, there's no enemy as strong as a tiger, only teammates as dumb as pigs. It was Zhou Tianchen, who had also taken the clothes of 2 members of the Black Bandana Society, you two sure know how to cause me trouble. As soon as the girl recognized her teammate, she was overjoyed, Tianchen. A person over there is lighting incense for his older brother. He sticks 3 incense sticks towards the phone and murmurs to himself, brother, the situation is difficult, I can't find anything to offer you, so this will have to do. Don't worry, those petty Hongyi gang members, I won't let any of them get away. Suddenly, someone opened the door and entered, brother we have news about Zhou Tianchen. You immediately turned around, a little anxious, where? His subordinate quickly reported, out of breath, at the central square of the expanded district. the Zhao family captured Zhuo Tianchen, and they're going to execute him. Brother Yu quickly grabbed his coat and nodded. Got it. You all wait here. I'll go personally. His subordinate stopped him. Brother Yu, you can't go, it's the Zhao family. Brother Yu frowned. I know. He picked up his club and said, the big brother is dead, and I haven't done anything. Now that the benefactor is in trouble, I can't just stand by and do nothing. If I don't come back this time, you will be the first brother of the Azure Mountain gang. After putting on his coat, Brother Yu immediately left. In the square, people continued to argue over Gao Fei. The idle chatter here is of no use, let's just discuss things, shall we? Discuss what? Like I said, let's just take action directly. Whoever manages to snatch him away gets him. Ridiculous, do you think we are like your Axe gang leader? Fighting and killing, what kind of order would that bring? Don Lin Liang, say another foolish word and see. Abu walked over. Alright, enough arguing. What are we doing here today? I think everyone is clear in their hearts. This brat risked his life to save Zhuo Tianchen, clearly having a close relationship with him. Whoever gets him will surely find Zhuo Tianchen's whereabouts. There's no point in dragging this out. I have a suggestion. Let's follow the old rules, let's settle this by strength. Whoever can defeat all challengers gets to take him. What do you all think? Axe gang members asked, you mean we settle it through a fight? Abu smiled, the red-haired man looking eager for a fight. Exactly, if you all agree, I will represent the Zhao family. Li Wui also appeared. Such a good deal, how could Maple Nest forget about us? Seems like you're quite well off in the Zhao family. Abu smirked, the scent of gunpowder filled the air. What's wrong? Boss who didn't come? Li Wui frowned, the traitor, so you still remember Boss who? Abu waved his hand dismissively, don't call me a traitor, this traitor, that traitor. A wise bird knows which branch to perch on. The Zhao family can offer me more and better than your boss who. Gao Fei looked over, slightly confused. Maple Nest, how many forces are there in Longhua City, really? Immediately, he spotted something in the crowd. Wait, that's Tian Shen. Tian Shen, along with teacher Luo, was pretending to be a member of the Black Bandana Society. He raised his hand to signal Gao Fei, signaling not to stir up trouble. Abu continued arguing from the other side. Li Wui, you're late, the opportunity's gone. Li Wui smiled, is that so? I don't think so. The girl walked over, with Tian Shan and teacher Luo sneering beside her. Abu asked, you caught this girl? Li Wui answered, not really. She was caught by the two members of the Black Bandana Society. Abu seemed slightly irritated. The Black Bandana Society? Quite fortunate. Tian Shan remained silent in the disguise of the Black Bandana Society, looking towards Abu. Abu also glanced back at him. And so, everyone fell into a silent gaze-off. Inside, Abu was contemplating, this kid, my perception power can't even reach him. Not only that, within a 5-meter radius around him, my perception power can't penetrate. This kid's mental power is actually stronger than mine. He muttered to himself but tried to comfort himself, the Black Bandana Society is full of hidden talents. It's fine, even though this kid's mental power is strong, he probably isn't that great in direct combat. Abu smiled, what's the matter? Catching one person isn't enough, now you want to capture the whole group? Li Wui directly retorted, a person should have some aspirations. What if it turns into reality? Abu walked ahead, alright, since you've brought people here, I have no reason to refuse. But I want to make a condition with all the factions here. Li Wui asked, what condition? Abu smiled, do I really need to think about this? Your boss Hu Feng isn't allowed to participate in this competition. Other forces chimed in. That's right, Hu Feng can't participate. We agree too. Abu Ta spoke provocatively, did you see that? This is the heart of everyone here. It's well known that Boss Hu is the top person in our expanded area. If he doesn't participate, we still have a chance to win, right? Baldy Chang said, "You've done the math well, Abu." If Hu Feng doesn't take action, Zhao family's chances of winning are the biggest. Li Wui laughed, "You really can't stop acting all righteous, pretending to speak for everyone. Clearly, it's your own calculation, yet you say it's the voice of the people." Abu said nothing, just smirked. Li Wui was pleased, "Fine, I agree. Today, our boss who won't participate. Today, those present here will compete." Abu had achieved his goal and was feeling happy. "What do you all think?" The factions huddled together and whispered, "Is this acceptable, first brother?" The red-haired man murmured, "It seems fine. Bruce's of the Zhao family is strong, but he won't be able to take turns with so many people. As long as Hu Feng doesn't show up, everyone here has a chance." He raised his hand to vote. Axe Gang agrees. Abu spoke up, "Thank you. What about the others?" Nan Tian Society agrees. Longxing Society agrees. Abu said, "All right. Let's start quickly. Who wants to go first?" Li Wui prepared himself, twisting his wrist, ready to step forward when someone stopped him. It was Tian Chen, who walked up to him and said, "Let me do it." Abu Bu glanced toward Tian Chen with some displeasure, muttering to himself, "The Black Bandana Society really deserves to be wiped out." Li Wui spoke to Tian Chen, his voice filled with concern, "Brother, this is a rotation fight. It won't be great if you go first." Tian Chen responded confidently, as if he was sure of the outcome, "It's fine." Abu looked over at the approaching Black Bandana Society members with a hint of disdain. He smirked inwardly, a guy with evolved abilities specializing in mental power, and he's taking the lead in a rotation battle. He called out to one of his subordinates, Baldy Chang. Baldy Chang, who was called up first, seemed quite pleased. "All right." He walked forward with great momentum. Standing in front of Tian Chen, he ordered, "Let's start." They didn't seem to regard the member of the Black Bandana Society standing before them at all. Abu took a deep drag from his cigarette, calculating in his mind, Baldy Chang's strength is only considered second tier in the expanded area, but it should be enough to deal with someone who specializes in mental power. After winning this round, I'll let the others fight it out. At the crucial moment, I'll have Bruce step in to finish it. But things didn't go as he had imagined. Baldy Chang had just entered the field and within 2 seconds, he was knocked back, even crashing into another person. He let out a painful cry, "Ah, he's too strong." Baldy Chang muttered, glancing at Tian Chen with some fear. Abu, as if not believing his eyes, said, "Hey. How is that possible?" Thus, Abu's calculations were completely shattered. Facing Tian Chen, his opponent, he felt somewhat uncomfortable. This kid, how did he become like this? Everyone in the expanded area who saw his strength was puzzled. "Brother Chen, what's going on?" Baldy Chang was dealt with in the blink of an eye. The red-headed guy said, "This person moves very quickly, Baldy Chang probably couldn't react in time." Abu whispered to Bruce's, "What do you think of this person's speed?" Bruce's replied, "Very fast, Baldy Chang underestimated him. He could have blocked it." Abu asked, "If you were to fight him, how confident are you?" Bruce's answered, "I don't know." Bruce's had to say that, meaning the person in front of him was very strong and should not be underestimated. Abu entrusted Bruce's with the task, saying, "Still don't know? Then let's see." Other states also sent people up. "Hu Zi, you go up and try." Hu Zi went up, "All right." As soon as he got up, he started with a long rant. The Black Bandana Society, an outside force, dares to interfere in the expansion area. They must be tired of living. Kid, I'll give you a chance, retreat on your own, or else don't blame me for not being polite. He remained silent and didn't respond. Seeing his attitude, Hu Zi was extremely annoyed. His face darkened. "Humph, ignoring me? Bring it here." Hu Zi waved his hand. This was Hu Zi's weapon. People from that faction brought up an enormous sword, and everyone exclaimed, "Finally, we get to see it today, it's so big, at least 2 people have to carry it." Hu Zi's gaze was confident, looking at Tian Shen as if he was sure he could deal with him using that sword. The sword was placed on the ground with a loud thud, then Hu Zi effortlessly lifted the massive sword with one hand. He sneered, "Kid, don't say I'm bullying you. If you want to grab a weapon, hurry up, otherwise." But before he could finish his sentence, Tian Shen closed in behind him, causing Hu Zi to jump in surprise. Quickly, Hu Zi swung his knife backward instinctively, and he immediately bent down. Just as Hu Zi avoided Tian Shen's strike, Tian Shen punched forward without hesitation, showing no restraint in his power. The punch hit Hu Zi with such force that he coughed up blood, his body swaying with dizziness. Tian Shen addressed the surrounding factions, "Today, I will deal with all the factions here." Li Wuyi murmured, "Last time, when we had the brothers at the service station beat Hanli, it wasn't as quick as this. Just a few days, and he's already stronger." Bruce said to Abu, "He is very strong." Abu replied, "This is not the time for you to fight, don't ruin the big plan." But with Bruce's personality, always eager to try something new, he didn't listen. Bruce rushed towards Tian Shen, saying, "No, I want to do it. Now." Abu shouted loudly, as if trying to call him back, but it was too late. The two clashed, exchanging punches for the first time. Tian Shen easily blocked Bruce's attacks. Bruce's stepped back. After their first exchange, he also realized what level Bruce was at. Bruce's smiled slightly, "Come again." Perhaps it had been a long time since he had faced an opponent of such caliber. Bruce's charged again, this time even faster than before, with afterimages appearing in his wake. Tian Shen furrowed his brows, "This speed is no less than Luobrat's. It seems I'll have to play with you properly." Abu, from the side, was furious, "This is too outrageous." He cursed inwardly, if this keeps up, even if he wins, it will be a devastating victory. After the next round, Bruce is sure to lose. And I'm afraid he won't even manage to win. Looking toward Tian Shen, who easily blocked every one of Bruce's attacks without leaving any openings, looks like it can only go this way. Abu then glanced toward the various faction members in the expanding city, calculating something in his mind. The two sides were still fighting fiercely. Neither Bruce nor Tian Shen was giving an inch. People outside were asking each other, "Can Bruce's win?" The person replied, "It's still uncertain." Brother Chen looked at the battle between the two and made an assessment, "It seems Bruce's is trying to go all out, but with this speed, he won't last much longer." Suddenly, Abu transmitted a message to Brother Chen, "I think the same." He was surprised, and Abu continued to look at him, "It's me, the fool. This is my special ability." Abu sent another message. Brother Chen had a bit of an evaluation for Abu, very well hidden, not a bad ability. Abu continued, 8 out of 10, Bruce's cannot defeat this kid. In other words, if Bruce loses, we will also lose. Brother Chen then looked at Abu and asked, "So what do you want?" Abu smiled lightly, exhaled a puff of smoke, "Follow my lead, this is our last chance." On Bruce's side, the fight with Tian Shen was still intense. The two rushed at each other, and Bruce's was pushed back, while Tian Shen had to step back a few paces. At this point, Bruce's was exhausted. He was panting heavily, wiping the sweat that dripped down his forehead. Tian Shen, on the other hand, remained unfazed, still looking at Bruce just as he had at the beginning. Bruce's pointed at him, wanting to ask his identity, "You are strong." "I'm a Bruce, and you?" Tian Shen replied, "Speak in human language." Bruce nodded, "Okay. I'm Bruce's. What's your name?" It took a few seconds for him to think of the name of the person in the Black Bandana Society, and he replied, "Heisho." Bruce muttered the name, "Heisho, I see, Heisho." People around them started whispering, "Isn't that the second brother of the Black Bandana Society? When did he become this strong? Who knows?" Someone responded, "He's hiding his true power. With this level, I'd say only Hu Feng could suppress him." Bruce pulled the hair tie off and said, "Hey Sho, you're strong. I want to fight you with all my strength." The hair tie Bruce removed turned out to be a headband. Everyone was surprised. So Bruce hasn't been using his full strength this whole time? Bruce took out his wristbands and clinked them together. "You should also use your full strength." As he spoke, it was clear that the wristbands had knives attached to them, looking extremely dangerous. Tian Shen looked over, his mind making a preliminary assessment. Without the help of breathing techniques, he's reached the peak of stage 1 in such a short time. He really does have some skill. Bruce looked at him again, glaring as though he was waiting for something from him. Tianshan said, "You want to have a fair duel with me, but there's someone who probably doesn't think the same." Bruce was a little confused, his face blank. Tianshan looked up at the sky and shouted, "Over there, the one upstairs." The group of people looked over, surprised that they had been discovered. The person in question was startled. Tianshan continued, "And there's the red-haired guy over here." Tianshan glanced at one person, his voice faltering. He then turned his gaze toward Abu, "And you, it's all arranged by you. Blocking all exits, preparing to surround and kill me." Abu responded, "What? What are you talking about?" He wanted to deny the truth. Tianshan replied, "Although mental energy isn't my specialty, it's more than enough to deal with you. The 6 people you arranged are all under my watch." And he had guessed everything correctly. One couldn't help but say, when facing someone who had been reincarnated like Tian Shen, these people basically had no chance of standing against him. Wu Yi cursed loudly, his anger rising. "Shit, Abu. This damn mutt is up to some sneaky tricks." Someone stopped Li Wu Yi. "Wu Yi, why are you so angry? It's been a long time since we've seen each other, don't you want to say a few words to the boss?" Wu Yi shouted, "Li Nan Tian. What do you want to do?" Brother Tian replied, "We don't want to do anything, we just want Brother Li to stop acting recklessly." Li Wu Yi wanted to rush forward, but was held back by Qin Qin. She tried her best to stop him, saying, "Don't be impulsive, let's see what happens first." Li Wu Yi pointed directly at Abu and cursed, "Without any restraint, the rules were made by you, clearly stating that it would be a turn-based fight, and now you want to gang up on us." Abu sneered, his eyes showing a malicious intent. "Fine, if it's been discovered, I won't pretend anymore. Today, the Black Bandana Society must be eliminated." Brother Tian threatened Li Wu Yi, "Wu Yi, don't interfere with today's matter." And Li Nan Tian added, "That's right, our target today is the Black Bandana Society." The red-haired man grabbed Teacher Luo's hand. "Black Bandana Society? From today, they will disappear from Longhua City." His tone suggested he was confident they would eliminate the 2 of them here. But he had picked the wrong person. Teacher Luo kicked him with great force. She said, "Don't touch me." With just one kick, Brother Chen fell to the ground, his whole body as if his soul had left him. Abu radiated a strong aura of hostility, and he had not anticipated this situation. How many experts are there in the Black Bandana Society, after all? Li Wu Yi and Qin Qin, without any coordination, exclaimed in awe, "That's impressive." Abu pointed, seemingly signaling everyone, "Move forward." Everyone followed his command, slowly approaching Teacher Luo, who stood in place, unsure of what to do. Tianshan silently thought to himself, "This is bad. If a fight really breaks out, there's a good chance Teacher Luo will explode." He glanced at Teacher Luo with concern, and with Teacher Luo in her current state, if she does explode, even I may not necessarily have a way to contain it. Bruce spoke to Abu, "Abu, hold on. I want to have a fair fight with him." Abu, infuriated, retorted, "Bruce's, now is not the time to act on impulse. We can't afford to lose this match." Bruce's responded, "There's a saying in Nation H, a promise is worth 1,000 gold. Although I'm not from Nation H, I think it makes a lot of sense. If we agreed to a one-on-one fight, we can't go back on our word. Otherwise, we won't be men." Abu was extremely frustrated by what his teammate had said. He gritted his teeth and sneered, "Humph." Tian Shen appeared in front of the 2, "Alright, I won't waste time talking to you. You've chosen a few people to encircle and kill, so let's go together. He spoke with an incredibly arrogant tone. Even Bruce couldn't have anticipated this situation. How strong must the person in front of them be to speak like that? Even Li Wuyi and Qin Xin were surprised by his words. The two children stood there with their mouths wide open, unable to believe their ears. Abu also couldn't believe what he had heard. What? What did you say? He repeated, I said, you and the 6 people you've arranged, along with him, come at me together. He pointed at Abu and made his declaration. This announcement sent shockwaves through all the forces in the expansion zone. Abu asked him again, Heisho, are you sure you want to take on 7 by yourself? He replied, if you want to gang up on me, then try it. Abu considered for a moment, although we have the advantage in numbers, there's not enough trust among us. Once the fight starts, the Axe Gang and Nantian Society will definitely try to seize the opportunity to snatch people, turning the advantage into a disadvantage. Abu then said, since you've said it like that, I will respectfully obey. Bruce's joined in again. He said, no. Abu spoke to him, trying to convince Bruce's, what's wrong with you? They've already agreed. Bruce's remained adamant in his stance. Abu tried again to persuade Bruce, this is not the time for you to fight with someone else, don't mess up the big plan. Bruce responded, still extremely stubborn, I want to fight him one-on-one, no one else needs to help. You have no right to give me orders. Bastard. Hearing Bruce's say that, Abu became furious, what? Bruce's didn't stop, can't you understand Nation H language? Bastard. The two brothers, Gao Fei and Luolan, looked at each other and laughed, shit, I'm dying of laughter, being called a bastard by some foreign guy. Ha ha ha. Abu over there bit his lip and remained silent. Baldy Chang, seeing that the situation was about to escalate, stepped in to intervene, brother Abu, don't get angry. Abu looked at Bruce's as if he wanted to chop this teammate into pieces. Originally, I was planning for Bruce's to catch this kid, and the others would surround him. But now it seems I'll have to change the strategy. Abu took out his pipe. He said to Bruce's, trying to hide his anger, we can consider the earlier incident as if it never happened. I won't report it to the higher-ups, but you are not allowed to get involved in the competition anymore. Ino Bruce's replied, hey Sho, we lost one person, a 1 against 6. Do you have a problem with that? Tian Chen responded, start now. Don't waste any more time. Abu sneered coldly, fine, then let's begin. Tian Chen scanned the surroundings, counting the number of people. Indeed, there were exactly 6, neither too many nor too few. They slowly closed in on him. He muttered calculations in his mind, 3 strength-based guys in the inner circle responsible for suppression, 3 speed-based guys in the outer circle causing chaos. This strategy is solid. To execute it properly, they need to work in perfect coordination, otherwise, they'll be defeated again and again. Tian Chen decided to strike first. He charged at one person, I'll deal with you first. He made his way toward the largest and fattest member of the group. A loud crash echoed, and everyone outside watched with wide eyes, a bit tense as they observed the fight. The 3 attack-type individuals actually managed to block his strike. This was a trap. Immediately, the 3 speed-type members rushed in, just as the strategy he had envisioned earlier unfolded. Tianchen kicked up his leg, sending the strength-based guy flying, while simultaneously dealing with the 3 speed-based attackers. A person punched towards him, and he quickly bent down to dodge. Another person with a strength-based ability approached, intending to kick him. However, Tianchen grabbed his leg with a single move, throwing him to the ground while simultaneously leaping off the ground. Another strength-based person charged at him. Tianchen was taken aback. He widened his eyes as this person embraced him, causing Tianchen to lose his momentum. Then, the person tossed him backward. Tianchen was surprised, these people are coordinating unusually well. If these 3 strength-based people persist in holding on to me like this, it will indeed be difficult to deal with. Tianchen closed his eyes, humph. He was preparing. The others saw him closing his eyes and asked, what do you mean by this? He provoked, what are you staring at? Keep going. The group felt irritated by his attitude. One of them gritted his teeth, Don Lin Liang, he's underestimating me. Let's go, take him down. Without hesitation, they all rushed at him. Tian Shen used his mental energy and realized, so that's it. They're using mental energy to cover the entire arena, linking the 5 of them together. They're coordinating so smoothly. To link so many people with first-level abilities must require a great deal of effort. He realized that Abu over there was controlling the group. Abu here was also sweating from using his spiritual power. The longer the match dragged on, the more disadvantageous it was for him. He frowned. Tian Shen thought, activate the pattern, huh? He smiled, I want to see how long you can hold on. Gao Fei looked over and asked, can one fight 7? Luo Lan replied, nonsense. You can do it. Gao Fei sighed, oh, the difference between people. It's infuriating. Luo Lan focused on the match. She said, after this, I will definitely train harder. Li Wui observed the match closely, 1 against 6, do you think our first brother can do it? Xin responded, not sure. Previously, our first brother fought against 4 evolved members of the Zhao family alone, and in the end, it was a mutual loss. Brother Chen said, I think Hu Feng is still slightly stronger. After all, his strength is formidable. Even the 4 dragons of the Zhao family must fear him. Li Nantian said, hard to say. Teacher Luo also focused on the match, not saying anything, just remaining silent. Abu couldn't hold on any longer. He cursed inwardly, damn it, how can his strength never run out? Abu thought, this kid seems to have eyes in the back of his head, no matter what direction we attack from, he easily dodges or blocks it. On the other hand, our people. One by one, they get injured from his counterattacks. If this continues, sooner or later, we will lose. Abu spoke into the minds of all 6 people, everyone, listen up, let's all explode with power and attack from the front at the same time. No more hesitation, if we keep this up, we're definitely going to lose. The group followed Abu's command and unleashed their abilities at once. They all shouted. It was exactly the moment he was waiting for to use his own ability. Li Wui gaped, that's not. Xin stepped forward and shushed him, shoo. The kid's hand changed color again, and no one expected what this ability was, everyone was terrified. Abu shouted, it's too late. Hurry up. He realized something was wrong, Gan Lin Liang, no more waiting, I don't believe this kid can take us all down by himself. Indeed, they had underestimated him. Tian Shen only used one hand, and he punched forward. He said, perfect timing, try this. The group of people charged forward but hesitated for a moment, as if sensing danger, but it was too late. He spun in a circle, like a meat grinder, pulling the entire group of 6 into it, blood and flesh flying everywhere. 1, 2, 3 people who charged at him at the same time fell down. Tian Shan remained in his original stance, unscathed, with purple smoke dissipating into the air. Gao Fei also opened his mouth, what's going on here? Even Luo Lan was surprised, this move is a bit slick. Teacher Luo breathed a sigh of relief, phew, fortunately, we won. Li Wui was delighted. He and Xin clapped their hands. The group of people stood up, still a little scared, saying, thank you for sparing us, we admit defeat. Abu looked at the result, furious, how is this possible? 6 evolved people exploded at the same time, and he was actually able to break it. This kid is not simple. It seems I need to get the priest and young master to deal with him. Abu thought to himself about how to deal with him. Just as he was about to leave, the man called him back, did I allow you to leave? You think I don't know your tricks? He asked him, and he replied, hey Shou, I haven't entered the fight yet. Are you trying to break the rules? He responded, now you're talking about rules with me. It's too late. He walked over and landed a punch on Abu, blood splattering. Everyone witnessing it was left speechless. What's going on here? Abu fell down. Tianchen gritted his teeth, with no trace of mercy. I'm going to kill you. Bruce's stepped forward, as if to protect Abu. You can't do that. But Tianchen charged at Bruce's, punching him with incredible speed. Speak in human language. Bruce's took the hit and staggered back. He sighed. Tianchen glanced at Bruce's but said nothing. Abu then continued, Hey Shou, you should know the standing of the Zhao family. Even Hu Feng wouldn't dare to casually kill us. Suddenly, a manic laugh rang out. Everyone turned around in surprise. Huh? Who is that? It's Hu Feng, he finally joined in. He laughed and said, Trash like you dare to call yourselves dragons? Boss Hu, Xin, and Li Wui were overjoyed when they saw this. It's Hu Feng. Everyone immediately realized, Hu Feng is here. Who's stronger, He Shou or Hu Feng? Someone next to them responded, Don't be ridiculous. Who is Hu Feng? He's the top guy in our expansion area, and He Shou is just a talented newcomer. He glanced over there and wondered, Is this person the first Emperor Hu Feng? Hu Feng stepped forward and spoke gently, My friend, for my sake, spare his life. Li Wui rushed in and intervened, First brother, why are you pleading for this traitor? Hu Feng replied, There's a time for everything. By all rights, this person is a traitor to me, and there's no reason to ask for mercy on his behalf, but I owe him. Abu looked at Hu Feng, his eyes filled with resentment. Without him, there would be no maple nest. Today, I spare his life, and from now on, neither of us owes anything to the other. Li Wui, the first brother, spoke helplessly, and everyone around praised him. What a bold man, truly worthy of being the leader of the expanded region. Escaping this calamity, this Abu is really lucky. He repeated, No. Hu Feng darkened his face and glared at him. Tianchen continued, This is your matter with him, it has nothing to do with me. Today, this person must die. Everyone was stunned by those words. This He Shou completely disregards Hu Feng's face. Hu Feng doesn't seem pleased. Could it be? A person said, Hit. Then continued, Hit, hit. So everyone immediately shouted, Hit, hit, hit. Li Wui stood between the two. Now he didn't know what to do. On one side was his younger brother, on the other was the boss, yet those guys outside kept fueling the fire like this. Hu Feng glanced at him, and Tianchen showed no intention of backing down. Hu Feng sighed and then smiled, all right, it's just me, Hu Feng, talking nonsense for a traitor who's not worth it. Hu Feng raised his hand, My friend, I was rude earlier, please forgive me, don't hold it against me. But the other person didn't respond to Hu Feng, instead directly jumping away. Hu Feng looked in that direction, and Tianchen rushed toward Abu. This Abu surely couldn't fight him. Abu looked at him, unwilling to accept it. There was a loud thud, but Tianchen missed the strike. He hit the ground, and everyone there gasped at the unexpected turn of events. Tianchen looked toward him and praised, You're fast to arrive. Hu Feng glanced over and smirked lightly, Today is really lively, even you are joining the fight now. That was a person from the Zhao family, the one who just saved Abu. Now, Bruce's was carrying Abu. Abu shouted, Hurry, put me down. It seemed like he didn't want to lose face in front of everyone. Bruce had no choice but to put Abu down on the ground. Hu Feng joined in, saying, All right, the Zhao family's 4 dragons, 3 of them are already here, just missing your young master. Old Li replied, Haha, what's this talk of dragons and dragons? It's just something those younger generations are chatting about. I'm old now, and I have no interest in meddling in the affairs of you youngsters. He thought back to that moment. The Zhao family is no simple matter. When I rushed to Abu's location, that person suddenly appeared out of nowhere, moving with incredible speed. After Bruce's came to save Abu, I had to face Old Li. Boldly immediately redirected my attack to the ground. Tianchen frowned, feeling uncomfortable, a high-level stage 1 and a peak stage 1, and then there's this person they call Uncle Li. He looked toward the Zhao family, somewhat unsure of what to do. Just now, my full force strike felt like hitting a cotton ball. He must have used some technique to dissipate the force. This person may be at peak stage 1, but even against a stage 2 powerhouse, he would still be able to put up a fight. Unless I completely unleash my power right now, I won't be able to hold them back. He quietly calculated in his heart, but the technique to neutralize this guy's force is a bit interesting. Uncle Lee smiled and spoke, looking completely harmless while pretending to advise, "Young man, one should have a heart of tolerance." I told Abu to admit his mistake and move on. The crowd gathered around, gossiping excitedly, making it quite lively. Today can be called a gathering of experts. One person asked, "Do you think this Heisho is giving face to the Zhao family?" The other replied, "Heisho doesn't even show respect to Hufeng, so why would he admit defeat to the Zhao family?" I think another big fight is coming. Tianchen scoffed coldly, admitting fault? Humph. If apologies could solve problems, why would we need fists? Old Li didn't hold back either, so, what do you want then? Tianchen, get lost. Old Li was confused, what is this nonsense? Tianchen repeated, no need for an apology, just get this idiot out of my sight. Abu shouted loudly, still defiant despite being beaten, Heisho, don't go too far. Old Li turned and punched Abu without saying a word. He then laughed, Abu, I already told you, I asked you to get lost. Can't you understand human language? Abu then covered his face as if he wanted to say something more, Uncle Li, I. Old Li, once again, threw another punch, sending Abu flying outside. Bruce, witnessing this, muttered to himself, that must hurt. Abu tumbled several times on the ground. Old Li turned to Tianchen and said, young man, your name is Heisho, right? Black Bandana Society. He murmured, very good, we will meet again later. He led Bruce away. Bruce turned back and spoke to him once more, we should have a real fight sometime, I'm really looking forward to it. Tianchen, along with Hufeng, said nothing, watching the Zhao family group leave. Then he turned to address the remaining factions in the expanded area, do you still want to fight? After that fight, everyone was terrified of his strength, we dare not, please. Someone asked, what about Boss Hu? Hufeng stepped forward and announced, it seems this chaos should come to an end. Everyone, I, Hufeng, am a latecomer, and I should not interfere with today's events, I am merely a witness. This young man from the Black Bandana Society has defeated all challengers. According to the agreement, he is allowed to take 2 people and leave. If anyone has any objections or wants to challenge him, they can speak up now. Brother Chen and Li Tiannan both gave up. Boss Who said it like this, how dare we have any objections? That's right, Heisho is the strongest, we won't fight anymore. Hufeng turned to ask, what about the others? The other factions also gave up, no problem, agreed. Both Gao Fei and Luo Lan sighed, phew, it's finally over. Teacher Luo came over to untie the 2 of them. Gao Fei sighed, hurry, untie me. Teacher Luo reminded, don't let anyone else hear, you guys are prisoners now. Luo Lan smiled, and suddenly something flew towards them. Teacher Luo, who was with Gao Fei, looked at it warily. Luo Lan jumped up, it was Zhang Jinyu, what's the rush? I haven't agreed yet. No one thinks they can take anyone away. Tianchen's eyes widened, not expecting to encounter him in this situation. He opened his mouth, Zhang Jinyu. Zhang Jinyu walked over to help lift the nunchaku, then said to Tianchen, you all want to take them away. Beat me first. It seemed that he still didn't know Heisho was Tianchen. Tianchen stared at Zhang Jinyu, not sure what he was thinking, while Luo Lan and Gao Fei stood frozen, what's going on? I really don't understand. Suddenly someone's going to intervene. Zhang Jinyu declared, if you want to lead them, defeat me first. The people in the expanded area were all surprised by his appearance, who is this idiot? Another person replied, that's Zhang Jinyu. Second brother of Azure Mountain Gang. The same Azure Mountain Gang that was just wiped out today by the Hong Yi Gang. What is this kid trying to do? Looking for death? Zhang Jinyu had recently become evolved, does this guy want to die early? Tian Shen looked at him and said, "Can I ask you a question?" Zhang Jinyu answered, "What is it?" He pointed towards Gao Fei and Luolan. "What do you want them for?" Zhang Jinyu replied, "It's none of your business." Tian Shen responded, "These two are under my control." "Now you want to take them, surely you have a reason, right?" Zhang Jinyu was a little confused by his words. "Then what do you mean by saying that?" Tian Shen continued, "I want to hear the reason for your actions." Jinyu was somewhat puzzled. The people witnessing it were confused. He Shou is negotiating terms with him. Could it be that Zhang Jinyu also has hidden strength? The person next to him said, "You're telling me, I'm telling anyone, everyone is confused. Is there a reason or not?" Jinyu responded, "Zhou Tian Shen is helping me take revenge, this is what I owe him." He looked at Jinyu, unsure of what to say. This kid really values loyalty. Jinyu frowned. "What are you looking at? If you want to hit me, just go ahead." He smiled lightly, a hint of joy in his heart. "You haven't changed one bit." "Hurry up and go," I said, "you shouldn't be here." Jinyu remained as stubborn as ever. "You don't need to worry about that. I'm just asking you, are you going to send someone for me or not?" Tian Shen replied, "Your strength right now is still far from enough, you won't be able to protect them." Jinyu looked at him, displeased. But it's still better than leaving it to you." Negotiations failed, and he tightened his grip on his nunchaku. "Then let's fight." After speaking, Jinyu rushed toward Tian Shen without hesitation. Tian Shen was startled. "Why doesn't this kid listen to anything I say?" He immediately blocked Jinyu's nunchaku, not wanting to hurt him. After the first exchange, both of them stepped back. He looked at Jinyu, evaluating. Nunchaku, in that case, the attack power will be considerably stronger. For an evolved one, ordinary swords and knives are easily destroyed or broken. A weapon that's not as sharp as these nunchaku is actually much better. It's truly a good choice. Both of them exchanged blows back and forth, with him only dodging, not striking back at Jinyu. He had some calculations in mind. It seems like I should find a suitable weapon. Jinyu continued to strike at him, showing no mercy, but suddenly, he lunged forward. The nunchaku was aimed directly at Tian Shen's eyes as it rushed towards him. He quickly grabbed the nunchaku, seizing it from Jinyu's hands, and took control of the situation. Hu Feng watched from the side, muttering, "Interesting." His intuition told him that Tian Shen was letting the boy have his way. Tian Shen spoke to Jinyu, "Stop fighting, listen to me." Jinyu, being stubborn, retorted, "I have nothing to say to you." He released the nunchaku and charged at Tian Shen with a punch. Tian Shen deliberately did not dodge and took the hit head-on. Everyone gasped in surprise, and the onlookers, witnessing the scene, started to scatter. "This Jinyu actually managed to land a hit on He Shua?" Only Hu Feng noticed the deeper meaning. He gave a slight nod of approval. The moment Jinyu landed the punch, he asked the boy, "Why didn't you dodge?" You know that it was because he deliberately didn't avoid it, not that he couldn't avoid it. Tian Shen grabbed Jinyu's hand, pushed him forward, and subdued him in that moment. He slammed him down to the ground, saying nothing, and raised his hand to knock Jinyu unconscious. Jinyu passed out, unable to say another word. Only then did he stand up, brushed off his clothes, and said, "Take this person along." Li Wuyi replied, "Got it." He was also a bit confused by Tian Shen's actions. Zhang Jinyu is probably done for this time. The onlookers also felt pity for him. Azure Mountain Gang is completely finished this time. Only teacher Luo knew the truth. But Jinyu hadn't actually passed out. Tian Shen noticed how his friend suddenly became so strong. Jinyu sat up, gritted his teeth, and said, "It's not over yet." The people outside were shocked. What is happening here? Even teacher Luo didn't expect this. Jinyu grabbed his nunchucks and said, "Do you really think you can knock me down like this?" Jinyu retracted his twin sabers and prepared to continue fighting with Tian Shen in the second round. Tian Shen sighed, looking at the person in front of him with a hint of heartache. Jinyu continued, "The thing I hate most in this life is owing a debt of gratitude, so I repay any favor and avenge any grievance. Anyone who wants to take these two away will have to step over my dead body first." Xinyu declared, pointing to himself, willing to die rather than let Tianchen take the two away. Xinyu firmly stated, if you want to take these two away, you will have to step over my dead body first. Xinyu also said to Gao Fei and Luo Lan, don't worry. As long as I still have a breath left, these people won't be able to touch you. Gao Fei said, bro, stop causing more trouble here, just leave already. Luo Lan agreed, yes, we're not even that close. Luo Lan, seeing the stubbornness in that person, got annoyed. Gao Fei looked at Xinyu, blushing, I don't know why, but I feel a bit moved. Luo Lan cursed in his ear, moved my ass. Tianchen looked at Xinyu and said, why is my friend so stupid? He tried to advise him, stop this, all you're doing is bringing harm to yourself. Xinyu replied, even if I die, I won't let you succeed. Tianchen clenched his fist, cursing inwardly, this fool, with his patterns emerging under such agitation, there's no way to suppress him without hurting him. The only option is to strike quickly and win fast. Xinyu charged toward him, and he stood still, waiting for the attack. Xinyu gritted his teeth, determined to take down the person in front of him to protect Tianchen's friend. Xinyu swung his nunchaku, but he immediately jumped up to dodge. Hu Feng took the opportunity to strike Xinyu on the back of the neck. Xinyu let out a cry. Hu Feng pressed on a pressure point, and Xinyu opened his mouth before losing consciousness. In front of everyone, as Hu Feng finished his strike, Xinyu collapsed. After taking care of Xinyu, Hu Feng turned to Tianchen. The onlookers were surprised, and it was the first time I had witnessed Hu Feng use his capturing technique in person. This move was called Coiling Dragon Hand, a skill Hu Feng had learned in a martial arts school. With Xinyu unconscious, Hu Feng approached him as if pressing on a pressure point to revive him. Hu Feng said to him, in about an hour, he should wake up. What happens next, you can handle it yourself. He nodded at Hu Feng and quietly replied, thank you. Hu Feng turned to Li Wuyi and said, Wuyi, clean up, get ready to go back. He replied, yes. He knew exactly the method Hu Feng had just used. He thought to himself, indeed, it's not simple. Wuyi smiled at Hu Feng and said, first brother, you've worked hard. The others seized the opportunity to flatter, hey Sho, bro, we've offended you this time. We'll definitely come to apologize another day. He just glanced at them and said one sentence, get lost. All the remaining gangs in the expanded area immediately left, alright. We're leaving right now, won't dare to make any more noise. Xin said nothing, only looking toward Tianchen. She walked up to him, Zwa Tianchen. He replied, what's wrong? Xin said, you should still come back to Maple Nest with us. You've just arrived and don't have anywhere to go. Tianchen refused, no, I have some matters to attend to this time. But Xin felt a bit reluctant. Hu Feng walked over and patted her on the shoulder, Xin, Zwa brother has his own business, don't make unreasonable demands. She sadly accepted the reality, alright. Hu Feng comforted her and then led Xin away, not forgetting to say to him, Zwa brother's strength is not bad. If you're interested, you can come to Maple Nest and take a look. Tianchen nodded, boss who has done me a big favor. I will definitely repay this kindness. Hu Feng left with Li Wuyi and Xin, then I'll wait for you at Maple Nest, Zwa brother, we'll meet again later. Goodbye. After Gao Fei was untied, he seized the opportunity to stretch, I feel so suffocated. Luo Lan frowned, alright, wasn't it to save you? Gao Fei looked at his brother, are you out of your mind? If it weren't for me, would you have even seen Tianchen? Luo Lan was angry, you're still blaming me? Isn't it your bad eyesight? You couldn't even recognize Tianchen. Gao Fei scratched his head, my mistake. Luo Lan angrily said, I don't believe you. Shang Biao had also returned. Luo Lan greeted it, her voice cheerful, Shang Biao. Tianchen spoke to the two of them, stop arguing, the two of you together are still not as reliable as Shang Biao. Teacher Luo chuckled when she heard him teasing. Gao Fei asked, what's the next step? What do we do now? He replied, go to Azure Mountain Gang and help that kid handle his family matters. Luo Lan said, wait a moment. We need to pick someone up first. He asked, who? On her back was Jinyu. Luo Lan smiled and said, Teacher Luo, someone really wants to meet you. When Teacher Luo heard that, she immediately figured out who it was, her eyes full of anticipation. Luo Lan knocked on a door and said, open the door quickly. The Emperor covers the tigers. A voice called out from inside, mushroom chicken stew. Gao Fei and Tian Shan were at a loss for words. The voice inside continued, treasure pagoda demons, chili and mushroom. The door opened, and a figure appeared. The little girl asked, you're back, did you find Big Brother? Behind her was Teacher Luo, and when she saw the figure, she was taken aback, sister. The little girl rushed toward Teacher Luo and hugged her, extremely happy. Tian Shen laughed, come in. The group is almost complete now. He placed his sword on the table and sat down. He asked, go ahead, how did the two of you find this place? Luo Lan replied, it wasn't that difficult. Gao Fei chimed in, we followed the smell here. He tapped their heads, speak human language. The two of them, clearly in pain, spoke the truth. Gao Fei rubbed his head, it was Leader Lin who sent us here. He said you'd probably come to Longhua. He asked, Leader Lin? Luo Lan hugged his head, crying out in pain, it hurts so much. Gao Fei explained, after we got out of danger, we initially planned to go directly to Chuzhou, but Leader Lin told us it would be better to go to Longhua first. He asked again, then where did they go? The boy replied, they left before us, saying they wanted to go directly to Longhua City. When we left, they also took Xiao Shui with them. Tian Shen nodded after hearing this, I see. So, after this, what do you think? Gao Fei and Luo Lan were caught off guard by his question, huh? Tian Shen explained, there are no less than 30 evolved ones outside the light of Longhua City, and there are first-class peak and second-class ones. Even though they had a 3-month head start, they were still caught up. He scolded Luo Lan and Gao Fei, bare thing techniques, I wasted my time teaching you. Luo Lan pouted, I didn't expect this either. Tian Shen calculated, it seems like you've been living comfortably. Starting tomorrow, I'll personally train you. Gao Fei and Luo Lan, upon hearing this, clutched their heads, what? The demon is coming.